Entering the endgame.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your SGS Saints Gauntlet Series 2025. I'm your host, Patrick Smoke Chambers, and today we are going to be running VALORANT. Everything looks incredible. Look at the scenery, the atmosphere. We got the player cams up in the background. We got Western and Akron for our game one, but there's so much to talk about. The winner today will be taking home the lion's share of our prize pool and our glorious trophy as well. And you'll be able to get to see a little bit of that when we get introed to your casters. Speaking of which, we need to meet them, so let's get right down to that.
Thank you so much, Patrick, down there in the pit. Ladies and gentlemen, as he said, welcome to SGS VALORANT. My name is Wyatt Rapson. Call me Swag Studios. I'm joined by Theo, a.k.a. the Holy Juan, and it's going to be like an amazing day to Theo. We've got a lot of talent here under our roof, and we've got a lot of drowsy eyes right now. I know it's pretty early in the morning for us VALORANT players, but you know what? It's going to be very exciting. We have a lot of big names here. What are you thinking is going to happen today?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day of VALORANT, I hope. As you said, some big teams here. Two out of the top, maybe 3-4 teams in all of North America, Northwood and St. Clair, both at this land. And a lot of teams it going to be looking to prove themselves today. They're going to be playing against these top-heavy teams that they usually don't see. It's going to give a lot of teams that are still looking to get up there in the top rankings really an opportunity to find themselves and maybe give themselves some much-needed experience. And, you know, these top teams, they're going to be looking to come out on top, but the big dogs, they're only looking for the first place.
Indeed, you definitely got your bigger dogs here who are here to eat and here to play. You've got St. Clair Varsity, and you've also got like Big Dog Akron. You've got Northwood as well. Definitely some bigger names to see. Let's see who we've got right now on stage. It looks like we're going to be facing off against Akron and Western. And you know what? I got to talk to a little bit of them beforehand. Akron is looking pretty hot. They just played a recent game against Northwood in CVAL just 2 weeks ago, which they were beat out in, and sad to say that there was a DC on Northwood, but they were still able to pull through on the win against Akron in a 4v5 scenario. And needless to say that there were some players who decided to go talk a little bit of beef online. So Akron are definitely looking to strike at the throat and take a couple rounds, if not beat Northwood today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. But speaking of the players, we have a little bit of an interview between these two teams. So let's throw it over to Patrick. Let's see what they have to say.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. I'm joined by Akron's IGL Vorses and Western's IGL Chopped Chin. And guys, you know, we were talking a little bit before this game is about to go down. I'm just going to kind of hand the mic to you guys. First of all, just expectations heading into today. We'll start with you, Vorses, and then Chopped Chin, you next.
I mean, we're coming out here looking for the dub. LANs are always a super fun experience for us. We love playing at LANs. We're definitely a LAN team. I'd like to say we perform better when we're on LAN. But yeah, I mean, team's been doing pretty good recently. We're just looking to keep it hot. So,
absolutely class response. And you, Chopchin, expectations coming into today.
You know, I think we're just here to have a fantastic time. You know, get some rounds, get some good teams. You know, maybe win. You know, maybe we'll win. You know, like have a great time. Our first time on LAN, I think it's gonna be very fun. You know, fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, Vorses, you're kind of the IGL vet of the team. You've been here for a little while on Akron. You've got some new hot gunners coming in as well that you guys have told us ones to watch. But just in general, going to LAN, obviously for a lot of these guys on Western, it's their first time, you know, so the nerves can kind of get there. And with you being the vet, what are some things that you've done to kind of cool down your players if there are any nerves coming in?
Yeah, so definitely timeouts help a lot just to kind of take the nerves off everybody. But it's also just keeping the vibes up. I can't really let myself get down because as soon as that happens, the team's kind of rolls on. But yeah, for me, it's just I got to always keep the vibes up, make sure everybody's doing good, and we just have a good time, just have fun out there.
Absolutely, and I mean, Chopchin, you know, again, it's your first time on LAN, but that being said, the pressure's not really at least on you, or it shouldn't be, so if you feel like it, you know, maybe this is a way to kind of take it off. Going up against Akron, what are some expectations you have for the match?
You know, I think we're gonna do good. We might win. Hopefully, we'll win. Uh, this is I feel like multiple lands. It's not my first land, but this is our as a team. It's our first land. But I think we'll adapt pretty well. You know, we'll win. Hopefully, we'll win.
Absolutely. And there's just one last question before I toss it back to my casters. You know, you guys are both IGLs, right? So I got to ask right now, who's got the bigger brain? Like, I'll start with, I want to know why you think you have the bigger brain. Because Chop Chin, you know, I was talking to you beforehand, and I was like, you know, who's got the bigger brain? You or Vorses, and you had a very interesting response to tell me. Let the fans know at home what you were thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say like Chop Chin has a bigger brain. Like if you go on Google, you search up Chop Chin, like you'll see all the experience he has. You know, like tier 2 player, like super good. You know, super good. You see like everything about him. Yeah, he's got like a lot of experience. So I think Chop Chin might be a little smarter here.
Absolutely. And Vorses, your response to that?
So, you know, for me, I don't really shoot my gun when we're in match. I just think all the time. My teammates do all the gunning for me. So, brains 100% all the time. So that's me.
Absolutely. But you know what? We'll settle this debate in a few short moments. Back to your casters, though, for some pre-game analysis.
Very interesting interview there from our two very big-brained IGLs on both teams. And you know what? Going into this, it's really like a story of the team with LAN experience and the team who's looking to rise and shine as their first like team LAN on here. I'm definitely talking how Vorses says their team performs a lot better on LAN. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Western coming into this being their first ever LAN experience. What do you have to say about that, Theo? Do you think it's going to get to their nerves?
I mean, Western, yeah, probably big underdogs going into this one. Akron are a ranked team. They've been at LANs before, and as you saw, they have such good veteran presence there. So, yeah, I think Akron, they'll be feeling very confident going into this one. Obviously, if Western start off hot and, you know, he said they're still first LAN together, when that energy starts building up, players are right next to you, see your opponents being a little bit down on themselves, you get some hope, you get some good rounds in you, then Western can maybe start stacking up some rounds. But I feel like if Akron starts off hot, they're not gonna look to slow things down at any state.
No, it definitely does take a good IGL that can keep the vibes up. And talking about vibes, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a vibe for what groups we're going to see here. We've got them on screen now. Looks like we're going to have Group 1, Group 2. Group 1, we're looking for our St. Clair varsity team. We've got Sienna Heights, Toronto, Fanshawe. And then in Group 2, we got Northwood, Akron, Western, and our SCC Academy team here, which I'm looking to hopefully shine and take some games off of the bigger dogs. But off the bat, I can see, Theo, our two biggest names here are in completely different pools.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected. These teams, each very, very likely to make it to deep in the playoffs, is probably the grand finals. I mean, they're just two of the top 5 teams in all of North America. Some would say maybe even higher in the top 3. They're just so good. A lot of history between these top 2 teams, between the Saints and Northwood, but you know, still a lot of Valorant to play. You can't really get too ahead of yourself. Can't just be thinking, oh, these teams will for sure make it in the grand finals. Any team could beat any team, especially in these best of ones. Just one good map, a couple good rounds could swing momentum big time.
Yeah, you may be able to out-aim another team, another player, or so forth, but it's about that LAN experience, that LAN, whether it be fatigue or nerves coming onto that stage, or the experience and the good vibes that your IGL brings into that is really going to turn the tide. It looks like, as I already said, we're getting a little bit of some nap time right now on stream because, as we mentioned before, players are just tired. They're not used to waking up past noon. So
Yeah.
it's definitely an experience for them getting on this stage, and definitely
Big yawn.
a big yawn coming through. And definitely in general, I know talking to a lot of the teams that are here, they're absolutely starstruck and stunned by the facilities that we have here to put on a LAN event like such. But enough glazing ourselves. Talking about what the IGLs mentioned, definitely from the side of Vorsis, he's a big brain, lets the rest of his team do the shooting. And the one that I want to talk about who does most of the shooting will be one of their Sentinel players, I believe, Swig. He's a new pickup this year. He's definitely going to be one of their star players to watch out for. And I'm overall interested to see how he plays against Western today, because these two teams, to our knowledge, have never played off in anything CVAL, Collegiate Valorant related.
Yeah, and obviously Reginator is their duelist, been playing a lot of Raze, so it's going to be interesting to see how Western can really, how they're going to play. It's kind of a toss-up in the moment. We have no real idea of what they're going to pick, how they're going to play. Are they going to play some wonky maybe team composition to throw Akron offline? If I were them, that would be something I'd definitely dibble my fingers in a little bit, play something spicy. And, Akron, they've prepped against the best of the best teams before. They know that they can't take anyone lightly, but they're going to know, like, the standard tactics very, very well, and probably a little bit better than Western.
Indeed, and like that's always a debate that I love to have on this casting desk is who is going to take it all and win this first round robin. For those at home who have not known yet, it is a best of one, so one game, one and done, first of 13, or possibly more if we head into some lovely overtime, which I always love to see. But talking about these teams and who is expected to win, I've got to put my money on Akron. Talking to their coach, talking to their IGL, talking to the rest of their team as well. They seem confident. They seem like their vibes are there. They're good. They're a little tired right now, obviously.
We all
are, yeah. And they have, I think, obviously the experience to be on this stage and say, you know what? We can beat them. We can take this game. We can go on to our next one and play whoever it is that is going to be in the rest of our pool and dominate.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Akron are big favorites going into this one, and they should be able to win relatively swiftly. I think anything other than a semifinal here for Akron is going to be they wouldn't be happy with anything other than a semifinal. And obviously, in those semifinals, we're probably going to be going up against the top dogs. But I feel like getting to the semifinals is going to be good for Akron.
Indeed, and they've got Akron, but on the other side, Western, we talked a little bit with their IGL. Their IGL is confident, definitely a little chiller around the circle. You know what I'm talking about, but I think they have a little bit of a mountain to climb here because they have a team that they're going up against which has a little bit of experience. They have their IGL who has a little bit of experience on LAN and can hopefully bring that to the rest of their team. I think this is going to be mainly a battle of mentality because, like as I said a little bit before, you can aim however you want and you can be the best in the lobby, but if your mental is chopped and you're thinking down on yourself, you're thinking, man, it's 7-0, how are we going to pull back from this? You might as well just pack up, take your keyboard, take your mouse, go home. Because mental is a big thing in Valorant and in esports in general, and anything in general. You have to have the right mindset going into this, and you have to have someone to start that mindset and keep that mindset up, which has to be that IGL. If you do not have an IGL that can lift the rest of your team up and talk to them when nobody is talking, that is a crucial, crucial factor. Because the one thing you don't want on a LAN experience is a team not talking to each other.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that one, Wyatt. If you had to take a guess, are we going to see any weird agents picks in this first game? Like, do you think we're going to see something out of the blue?
I love to always talk about the flashy characters who we're going to see pop up most, talking about those duelists, talking about Reginator, and who they may bring on the other side. I believe it's Arav, who's going to be the duelist for Western. I want to see what they bring to the table because we've seen in like VCT level to a tour kind of competition, tier 1 level experience, a lot of different comps brought out. Definitely sticking to the more rooted like Jet, Raze. A couple teams have dwelled into the realms of ISO and Neon as well, talking about like EDG and then also a little bit of Vitality. They've gotten to that a bit. I think it's mostly going to be a game of how the duelists play because like obviously it's a LAN event, you're looking to do the best that you can, bringing in a good mental to this, but at the end of the day, aim is still a big thing in this game. It's something that you always have to consider. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're going to our map bans, and we are going to be heading to Lotus, one of my personal favorites in the entire game. Definitely a lot of interesting tactics to come out of it, and to add this to what I was talking about before, talking about what duelists we might see, I have no doubt in my mind that we are going to see a Raze on this map.
Yeah, probably should. Obviously, one of the 3 bomb site maps here in this game, and we've seen that a good amount. A lot of teams like playing on this map. Definitely an attack side favorite map. So defense, whichever team starts on defense, needs to be ready for the initial big bang. If you can win that first best round on the defense, puts you in a good spot on this map. But obviously having the 3 3 bomb sites to pick from on attack is definitely beneficial. So it's gonna be interesting to see if the team that's on offense first will really go for an attacking like team comp, try and stack up as many rounds on attack to close it out quickly on the defense, or if we're gonna see maybe playing some more defensive like Cypher, something like that. It's gonna be definitely interesting to see a lot of different game plans can be pulled out on Lotus.
If I had to make a prediction at what we're going to see, or guess as what we might see, I think there might be a couple teams here who take a page out of our own book. Because St. Clair love to play Lotus. They play a really interesting comp that I've seen on Lotus. They love to initiate and enable Instinct, who plays a very aggressive Clove player. And with that, they also have Tillo, who's normally on that fade to get a little bit of information to sneak through the cracks and kind of lurk around the entire map to figure out where they actually are and develop a game plan after that. But overall, I think we're definitely going to see the Raze. I think we'll most likely see a fade. Coming out of any other agents like Sentinel, Initiator, and Controller, I mean, obviously, Omen is like in your back pocket. You always need an Omen player on a map like Lotus. But the other ones are going to be a complete mystery to me. I'm going to try to figure out, we'll try to figure out who they play once we get into that.
Breach would be good on this map, right?
Breach would definitely be another interesting character to see on this map. But hopefully, we're getting into game soon. It looks like the boys are ready. We've got Western on the left side. We've got Akron on the right side. And they look pumped. They look focused. I'm looking at this guy right now. He is ready to take heads.
Yeah, I mean, they look ready to go Akron here. Obviously, they've been here before. They will not have too many nerves or anything of that sort, I don't think. Especially knowing that they're going up against a team that's not really on their level. Obviously, Western feeling very, very confident about this game one, but I believe that's them. That's Akron on the screen right now. And yeah, let's do a round prediction. Why don't we do that? Like, how many rounds do you think? Like, we both said Akron's gonna win. What do you think the round count's gonna be?
I would have to say it's probably going to be not a complete shutout. I wouldn't expect overtime. I have to say that out front. I would expect a 13 to Akron and possibly like a 5 to 7 for Western. But you know what? Expectations can be shattered. They could come out of the ballpark swinging, take the first 6 absolutely under their arms, and then lead the rest of the game in front of Akron. But like going into it right now, I think it's definitely gonna be favored towards Akron. We've talked about that, and I think it'll probably be somewhere between that 13-5 to 13-7 prediction. What about yourself, Theo? What are you predicting going into this game, knowing a little bit about Akron, a little bit about Western? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think Akron's gonna take it, and they're gonna be pretty dominant. I'm gonna go like 13-4.
Ooh, going for the bigger shutout. You know, I do agree with you a little bit there because like LAN experience speaks for itself. That is one of the biggest things getting onto a stage like such at a facility we have here at St. Clair. But I don't think it's going to be a complete shutout. We have historically known Western as a pretty good team. They haven't been recently, definitely in the past. But you know what? I think even though they were good before, they can be good again. They can take Akron, and they can give them a good fight coming into this. And it seems we're still getting some heads down. We're still getting a little bit of nap time right here. I can also see some Pokemon cards there, a little bit of fire energy, getting fired up before the game, ready to go into this. And players, they're just thinking right now. They're just waiting. They're just getting strats ready. IGLs are talking to them, getting them in the right mental state. And then other than that, I think it just has to go down. I've said it so many times. It just has to go down to mental. Mental is the biggest thing that you have coming into this. Like, obviously, you have your aim, you have your experience, you have whatever you bring on your current agent as far as playtime. But I think mental has to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, you see, obviously a bit of a delay could also throw a wrench in your plans. You start thinking about things you shouldn't be thinking about. You don't stay as focused on the game. So we're gonna need, they're gonna need everybody to stay as focused as possible. And you know why? It's gonna be a pretty long day today. Do you have any teams that you're maybe like, oh, these guys could maybe do something against some of these stronger teams? Like, is there one team that like stands out to you that they could be surprising?
I mean, we obviously talked about the big dogs in the room. We talked about Northwood. We talked about our own SEC varsity team. I think the team that has the most potential to be like that dark knight, just hiding in the wings, waiting for their chance to strike and take down some bigger names here at SGS Valorant, has got to be. And I don't want to pull out the glaze, but it's got to be our own academy team. You know, we have historical players who have played on both varsity and now reside on academy, so we have some great talent there. We have some new pickups like our very own homegrown Varsil. He's been doing great so far on the team, and we've also got Benson added on there this semester. Sadly, though, we have to say goodbye to Brownie. He's off the team now, but hopefully we see him in some more collegiate Valorant in the future, which does mean that we are going to be getting their coach subbed in, Wombat, which will be very interesting to see because if for those who do not know, Wombat historically played with our very own producer for today, Owen, as his IGL on one of the very first St. Clair College varsity teams for Valorant. That's going to be interesting to see how he plays with everybody, coming in with a lot of that veteran old dog experience to tell these youngins what to do and how to play the exact game, especially when you have a dynamic duo of brothers such as Sushi and Jello, which we're going to see playing on the academy team.
Yeah, definitely our academy team for the Saints here. A lot of talent for them. So I agree with you. I think they are going to be a dark horse team in this tournament, and yeah, they have a chance to upset some big names here. But Western versus Akron, we're gonna be going in just a second. What do you think is like the biggest thing in these first few pistol rounds to do to try and get the advantage early on?
Oh, obviously the pistol round is very crucial at the start. You want to get that first round to boost your economy going into the next, to be able to take not one, but two, three, possibly after the other if the other team doesn't have any oomph to bring back to you. I think the biggest thing is going to be like strategy, because this is the first round. You don't have a lot of economy credits to use. You're limited on your util. You're limited on what guns you can buy. So I think the pistol round is a perfect way to sum up how these teams play on a strategic level. Because once we get into the later games, once we get into the ones where teams have got Vandals, they've got Phantoms, and they are absolutely astoundingly better than in the economy than them, that is just like we can just easily see who's going to win out the round. But ladies and gentlemen, we are finally up with our agent selection, looking at who we will see here on Lotus today. And the first one that obviously sticks out to me that I talked about before is going to be that Raze. We're going to see a Rob, and we're going to see a Reginator on there. But also an interesting pick that I have seen a little bit. We're going to see that Vise, and then we're going to see the newest agent added to the team, Tejo.
Yeah, we're going to see them on both sides, actually. The only real difference between these team comps is the Breach and the Fade. So both teams having kind of the same research on this map. Seems like they both kind of like this kind of team composition. What would you say the Fade versus Breach difference is going to be the biggest thing between those two agents?
Well, with Breach, you have a lot more utility that can stun you out, and that can definitely disrupt rotations and whatnot. With a Fade, you have a lot more util that can definitely spot out some enemies and figure out where people are. It's going to be a game of information versus denying rotation. But getting into this first round in pistol, it looks like we have University of Western pushing up towards the C site. They're grouped up all here, and we got PokeChamp there as well. A little bit of a jiggle peek there from a Rob, trying to find out who's there.
Oof.
Took a little bit of damage as well, so possibly we'll back up and opt for another site.
Yeah, Western didn't get the cleanest push in. They're on attack here. They want to quickly get these rounds stacking up, but Akron, beautiful defense so far. And now the push onto Ace coming into full effect. Regulator gonna get tagged up, but Western, they're not pushing through, and it looks like they're double clutching here. They're going back towards the C site, but Akron have not over-rotated, so this defense here will be very solid.
Akron definitely have their strategies set in stone, and it seems that Western are being a little bit rigid where they go. They've gone from C to A, and now back to C. Now on the A. Let's see if they can get on here. Looks like the Tejo is going to be able to deny Doggo onto there. And now Pivers finds one back on a PogChamp, but Reginator is going to answer back. Pivers is now out. Vorces, the IGL takes out Top Stacks, and now the Zips are moving towards C, where it's all left to their IGL, Chopchin, and Arav to get this down. Chopchin gets it down, but sacrifices his life, and now it's all up to Arav. But Swig there to take him out.
A great first round here from Akron on the defense. They just played solidly, did not let anybody enter, and they're going to be starting off hot 1-0, taking a pistol. Now looking to take the second round as well. And on defense, you couldn't ask for a better start here from Akron as they look to keep the ball rolling in the second round.
Definitely. And you know what? This map is a little more attacker-sided. So it's great to see on the defense that they could put a great wall up to deny Western any chance of getting onto there. They definitely did get the spike down, but it was at a lost cause. They were sadly had to sacrifice Chopchin, and it just left Arav in a very unlikely and unfortunate scenario trying to pull off the 1v4 against Akron. But you know what? The first round is over. Possibly going to take the next two after this as well with the economy to play with. And now on the attack, I think they just have to pull out some more concrete strategies. You know, their IGL has to come through and actually figure out what they're going to be doing, because we saw a lot of movement out there from Western. We saw them going left to right, back to left, center. Like they viewed every single site and said, you know what, we're going to go to C. No, we're going to go to A. We're going to come right back to C, and now we're going to go B. They tried to go there, and then they tried to end up back on C. So it's definitely a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of unclear comms between the team, but right now we got a little bit of a tech pause, so that is a fortunate turn of events for Western. They can take this time to definitely figure out what their plan is going into this, because so far it doesn't seem that they have one on the attacking side.
Yeah, it is some audio issues, unfortunately. Obviously, Lanvant, things might not be perfect to start off, but obviously as the day goes by, everything will get cleaned up beautifully. And you can see players staying focused on the game. Don't want to talk about things that don't matter, obviously. But yeah, as you said, this tech pause probably better for Western than Akron. They really have to talk about their plan now that they've lost the pistol round. And I feel like going into the second round, they're not expecting too much. But that third round, when they have their buys available, that's when it's really going to be important for Western to win that third round.
Yeah, it seems like some audio issues on the side of Akron, and now, yeah, definitely giving Western that time to come back, and might also give Akron a little bit of time to figure out how they want to play this. Do they want to go for a possible force buy for an outlaw, or do they just want to play it safe, get some stingers for everyone, get some whatever they may get, a little bit of higher shields, whatever it may be. Definitely talk a little bit more strategy, but you know what? This team has LAN experience. They have the time put into this game to say, you know what? We don't need some extra time. We don't need a tech pause. We know exactly what we're going to be doing going into this. And so far, I think it's just been a little bit of a IGL lead. Definitely Versus is leading the guys very well, taking that first round, got a kill of his own, and definitely we've got some struggles on the side of Western. They have to iron it out, and they have to iron it out quick, because Valorant is a game where it can take mere rounds to get a stomp and can take an entire series to come back in it.
Absolutely. Wyatt, as round two will be kicking off relatively shortly. You could see this is Western. They're having a pretty good time. They're smiling throughout the pause here, so that's always good to see. You know, having a good environment at a LAN events. So it's also important. But you can see we're trying to get things fixed up as soon as possible. Wyatt, you know, we have a bit of time. You know, talk to me about your favorite agent in the game.
You know, it has to be Yoru, and something that I have yet to actually hear from any of the Duelist players, whether it be on Akron, Western, Northwood, or even our own Saints. Nobody likes to play the agent, which kind of kind of hurts me a little bit on a personal level, because seeing it in the professional scene, it's just a great agent that you can learn and has a very high skill ceiling to try and master. So many different angles you can pull out with their utility, and then just a great agent overall to work on different kinds of maps, breaking down defensive lines and getting in on the attacking end. But now we are back in for round 2. It looks like Western are opting for the same similar. So yeah, force, same similar push as last time, going towards C, where we do have PokeChamp there, ready. Stinger up front, tries to spray someone, but gets spotted out now, has to back right off. Trying to lose life, doesn't get just out now. Took a little bit of bullets, but Chop Chin is going to get the spike down. And a great start out from Western, getting the spike down early.
Oh, but there is a one tap and a couple kills traded back. 2 for 2, still 3 members left, but there's a couple quick kills for Swig and Bugs. It's only Doggo left alive with a Stinger. Now it looks like Akron, they're going to get on this site. Gets a 1 kill, does Doggo. The swing comes through, gets the second. Has to switch to the pistol, hits the headshot. 45 HP left, needs to find the one-on-one kill to close this one out. Doggo gonna go around the corner, and Doggo gets the 1v3 clutch in the force. Western get their first round.
You know, I thought it was all over in the start. We saw 2 Outlaws out from the side of Akron, and they were absolutely mowing down Western. They took 2 bodies, then a third, and then out of nowhere, Doggo just came up and said, you know what, let me hit a quick 3K. We're going to get a little bit of a replay now as well to see what exactly happened there. Break it down. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen, no replay just for you yet. Got to sit and wait for that.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't see the replay, but we saw it all. We saw the nice 1-on-3, and that's a big, big clutch. The fact that Western were able to force and win the second round, I mean, that definitely caught Akron off guard.
Yes, but definitely has put them in a situation now where Akron have to back off a little bit more. We see a lot of pistols coming out from them. We see, looks like 1 sniper rifle, possibly a sheriff as well. Not the best loadout going up against 3 Vandals for the side of Western and an Outlaw as well. Top Stack is going to find the first pick on to Reginator, pushing up just a little too far there, and now Pavers is trying to find someone as well with that Outlaw. But they're looking like they're going to go for this A site as the initiate is going to start soon.
Oh, Bugs gets a concuss on a couple members, surely, but here the swing comes through, gets a 1 kill, doesn't find the second though, does get traded out, but there's PokeChamp with a trade, makes their 3-on-3. Can they pick up some weapons? A Swig finds 1 more, makes their 3-on-2 for the side of Akron, and now Spike is down, the weapons are down. Nice utility here coming out from Akron. They should be able to walk through and get some Vandals in their hands here, but you can see Western's not letting that happen. 30 seconds and counting. Pivers does find 1, but there goes PokeChamp picking up that Vandal, looking to find the kill. Gets it, 2v1 now, and there's a Thrifty coming out from Akron as they bounce right back.
Great way to show that even though the tables might be against you, the cards are down, the chips are off, you can still pull it back with just a couple pistols and a couple other weapons. But you know what? Great way for Akron to take it back. They definitely had a bigger struggle there out from a beautiful buy from Western. And so far, this game has just been neck and neck, one after the other, a trade and a trade. And I think if this continues for the rest of the game, we're going to see a very interesting series in this first best of 1.
Yeah, I mean, Akron now, obviously, now they have the buys, and it's a save for the side of Western. So Akron going to be favored going into this round. They have some Odins. I saw Phantom, a couple of Vandals, and a nice swing there from Vorkid. He's going to find the entire Western team, and here comes the util from Akron as Western forced to back up immediately.
Vorson spraying it down in the mid, trying to find someone through that smoke, but no one yet. Now, looking to venture out towards C. PokeChamp, my apologies, is ready there. Has a wall up as well to deny anybody who might come through there, and it looks like Chopchin might be the first, but he expects the wall, so they might be looking to double peek this. See this a little bit in Tier 1? Trying to get more people across that wall, because once one person trips up and gets there, it's a wall there that is impenetrable and nobody can get through for a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and all 5 members here from Western looking to push through as now the round's really going to kick off. See if PokeChamp alongside Vorkis can find all the kills. The wall bangs come through. It's a 1-for-1 on the entry for Western, which is a pretty good start to the round for them, but PokeChamp does find a kill back still. 4-on-3 here for side of Akron. Western are in this site. They have some control, but they need to get the spec down. Here comes the plant. The swing from Pivers does find one, but gets straight out. The plant did not go down yet, and now the pinch is coming through. Bugs finds one. It's only Doggo left alive as Bugs gets the second with the Odin. 3 rounds over to Akron.
Absolute god in the game right now with that Odin, destroying anybody it comes in contact with. But now, Akron taking a little bit more of a lead here. Definitely finding their grassroots now. Forces has been able to man the troops together. They've got definitely a much better buy here out from them, but what I'm seeing on the side of Western, I'm seeing a lot of utility to use, especially in the realm of ultimates. We've got Raze, Fade, Teho, Omen. A lot of creativity could be seen in this match and could definitely swing in the favor of Western.
Yeah, they want to use their ultimates to win this round if possible. You can see Akron very close to some ultimates of their own, but the Fade ult is going to be used early on, and you can see it's an easy take for Western as Akron. They have to get way out of dodge here. They do answer back with a little bit of damage, so lower health bars here for Western, but it's going to be a full 5v5 retake needed for Akron to win out this round.
Definitely interesting way to use both of their ultimates, but now Arab has dropped his Forces is going to drop him with a one tap to the head. Now finds a little bit of a flash, but stays alive. Pivers finds Reginator. Looks like Swig is going to be dropping his ult as well to clear it out. Now the Rolling Thunder out from Bugs. Swig finds 2, looking for another. Doesn't find top stacks in the smoke, but now it's all up to him in the 1v3 scenario. And Forces there to find 3 kills. Akron now finding a stellar lead.
Yeah, Akron play beautifully the retake. You can see they've been here before. They use their ultimates beautifully. They find the kills when needed. And just the retake, it shouldn't be that easy, but it was for Akron. I think it just shows how good they really are. This was a nice little shot there through the smoke. A big game-changing, round-changing moment, but now up 4 rounds to 1. Akron in a prime spot to win out this first best of 1.
Yes, and it's put Western in a sticky situation. They still have 2 ultimates to play with, the same for the side of Akron. Reginator going to find the first one onto Doggo. Bugs with that Odin there trying to find another. Reginator finds the second, but Bugs gets taken out by Arav's nade. And now, still with the player advantage in the side of Akron, they're pushing up, trying to find Chopchin and Pivers who are left over there. And Topstacks has found an opening over on the side of C. Nobody is around there, so the rest of the team should look to group up with him. Unless
Spike's down.
Well, Spike is down, so it looks like he's going to be going for a little bit of a lurk there. Pivers finds a great pick through the smoke onto Reginator.
It's a nice kill through the wall. Just spamming it out, and yeah, that flank is still coming through. Obviously, only the Sheriff in hand here, but I mean, Akron have to be careful here. There's a pick here, a pick there. Seems going to fall apart. It's going to come out now, but the shots whiff. And that should more than surely close out the round here as Akron there's going to walk over Western and take their 5th round here.
You know, a lurk not well spent, trying to get around to sneak attack anybody, but just couldn't find the right shots onto the right heads there. And now Akron have found another round to themselves. And I like how they're playing. Really aggressive, taking a lot of picks off the start, and it's working out for them. They're up 4 rounds currently, still on the defensive end on a 3-site map. Is great so far to lead this out, and then going into the attack as well. I think it's going to work pretty decently with their chosen choice of Breach as an initiator. But now the 7th round is under Ray, and Reginator looking to start it out hot. Pops the ult, knows that he's there, takes him out, and Topstacks is back to the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice try from Topstacks, but that's exactly how you play that one. You spot out somebody, use the ult, find the kill. Worst thing happens, it's a 1-for-1, right? So a great job there done by Reginator. And now it's going to be Western 4v5, forced to push in. I mean, Akron, they're going to have numbers wherever they want, and this round's going to be very hard for Western to find anything.
Especially since they have shut down Topstacks' Vi's ultimate. which could have been game-changing, seeing the kind of loadouts we have here, especially with that Odin. But it looks like Chopchin is going to get spotted out now. The util comes out as well. Swig tries to take one. He does after death, but gets taken down by a Rav. And now they still have the advantage. Reginator's looking to take on another, but no, Doggo evens the playing field. And now the take of the site is started. Bugs with that Odin again, looking to try and spray and prey on anybody he can find. The flank also coming out from Pivers, could find someone. If done it right, looks like he's going to be able to find not anybody just yet. Took the wrong angle on the flank. But Chopchin is on this off angle. Does Forces suspect it? No, he does not, and gets taken out. Chopchin looking to take a couple more down. PokeChamp might be the next, but no, PokeChamp takes down Chopchin, bringing the Arsenal over to him, and it looks like it's all said and done. Western take their second on the board.
A good round there from Western and much needed, and they got that ultimate out at the end of the round. So a big net win here for Western. They pick up their second. But still a decent amount of work to go here in this round. It seems like these flanks for Western, they're there. Like, Akron's not really watching their flank too much, and I feel like Western could easily pick up a couple easy rounds if they get some more really good lurks and flanks off.
Yes, they are 0-2 right now on the flanks. One was a failed attempt because of some aim. And then
Well,
the
they won
second
that
one,
round.
They did win that round, and the second one worked out a little bit better for them. And now, heading into this
Operator.
8th round, I mean, yeah, the operator from Swig,
Oh.
taken out off of the bat by his counterpart on the side of Western, Pivers. Playing great so far, but the op is going to be picked up by Bugs. Looks like that wall is also going to be taken out by a Rav, faked out. And now Chopchin is ready to initiate this fade ult. There's 2 players currently on the side of C, so they could get caught in it unless they can get out fast enough. Shit's gonna come out soon. Here it is. It takes down both of them. Forces is up far. Looks like PokeChamp is able to find one. Finds a second, trying to find a third. Doesn't get it. It's taken down by Doggo, who finds 2 of his own. And it's all up to Reginator to defend.
Yeah, I think Akron
Spike planted.
played it well. Like, they had the right idea. They were just going to gun them down, and Western wasn't really ready for it. But you can see 1-on-3. Reginator finds one, but gets stunned up, and another good round win for Western. 2 in a row now on this attack, and Wyatt, I think they're getting a bit of momentum in their favor.
Definitely a great way to boost the economy. They want to switch this momentum to themselves because the last couple of rounds they've just seen shut out. This is the second on the board in a row that they have for them now, and 5-3 is a great place to be right now. They can definitely pull this back, end out the first half, 7-5, but Akron, they're still here to play. They're still hands on keyboards, so they're not going to be taking it lightly. They definitely have a big mountain to climb in this game.
Yeah, they're having like a bit of a force buy here. They want to win this round badly. You can see Forces doesn't even have any shields, I believe, on that moment. So interesting to see that Akron still really want to win this round. They don't want to give Western 3 in a row. But Western, they look good attacking the C side, and if I'm them, I'm not turning away from the C side. I'm going right back to it. Seems like Akron, they have an idea, but they don't really over-rotate, they stick. And Western, they probably thought Akron was going to rotate quickly. Now they're going to easily be able to defend here, Akron, and they have a couple members ready for the oncoming onslaught.
Indeed. And this is something that we saw from Western before. They like to move very quickly around the entire map, trying to figure out where exactly to go, but the util combination does come out from the breach, and the Tejo trying to take someone out with those guided salvos. But now Pivers finds one onto Reginator. The first has dropped. Who will follow? Now they're rotating off, though, leaving top stacks there to man the forts and veering right back over to C, where PokeChamp is ready for it.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's going to be all on PokeChamp. If they want to win this round, PokeChamp will have to be the one. A nice raise ultimate, though, from Arav. Forces finds one around the corner, is able to stay alive. Primary is going to get jammed here, so they have to be a little bit careful. But it doesn't look like Western is going to be pushing up too deep. Akron going to be forcing the 3v4. It's not going to be a lot of damage. It will be a little bit. We'll get out with a Zyph. And yeah, 3v4 retake. Won't be easy for Akron, to say the least, but still have a valid chance of closing out this round.
Western have the player advantage, but do they have the will to close this out? Take it to 5-4. A little bit of spray through the walls there. Doggo is hit. The missiles come down now. Doggo and Vorsis going neck and neck. Vorsis finds 4. Looking for the 5th. Does he find Chop Chin? On the site. The smoke out now. The start of the defuse. The spray out from Chop Chin finds 1. And it's all up to Swig.
No
Time is short. He cannot find it. And it's all said and done. Western have found their 4th with a clutch out from Chop Chin. You know, we almost saw a beautiful ace there from Vorsis. It was so close, but Chop Chin, with his big brain, was ready to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, what a round that was. And for Western, that's a big round. Akron just forced up. They're going to be in a save round. You have a chance to make it 5-5 wide, and then if you are able to stack a couple more on, close out the half 7-5. I mean, that's a recipe for victory here for Western, and they've bounced back very well. You can see this round, with the weapons they have, should be very favored, and they're going to play default, leaving the spike back in the spawn.
Indeed. They know that Akron is in this position where they do not have the best utility to play with, so they're going to explore, Western is going to explore their options around the entire map, try and figure out where these bodies are to take down as many people as they can, possibly to try and farm those ult orbs to get something for the next round to end out this first half in their favor. And they can definitely do that, end this in a 7-5. But right now, they got to get through round 10. The spike plant is going to try to get dropped by Top Stacks, but no, it's going to be denied quickly by Swig, who has that utility. Now spotted out. Doggo finds 1 though. Doesn't matter. He's now flashed out though. Switch off. Arab finds 1, looking to try and find another. He does, finds 2. The nade out now. All left to Bugs. Has but a sniper to play with and doesn't have the manpower to go through this Western squad. Definitely going to be ending out in a tie here. Unless Top Stacks or Buzz can pull out an absolute stellar round. Doesn't seem like we're going to see that.
Yeah, could definitely expect that save round there for Akron and Western. 4 rounds in a row now. They've found their groove. Obviously, as we said before, it is a very attack-heavy favored map, as I believe we're going to get a time out. From the look of things, if I'm Akron, I think this is a good time to take a timeout. You get 1 per half, so this will be the best time to use it. 2 more rounds left. You've lost 4 in a row. And if you're on Akron now, what are you saying to your players, Wyatt? Like, what do you tell them in this current state?
I mean, obviously, I tell them we've been losing rounds. They know that. They know that off the bat.
Yeah.
Going into this next round, we have 2 more rounds to finish out the half. Ideally, we win the next 2. But in the second best case scenario, we at least have to win 1 more. They've definitely got a little bit of economy to play with and use here. They have a lot of ultimates to possibly come online, so I think they have to work a little bit more together as a team. We've seen them being stellar so far on defense with some very concrete positioning from the entire squad. I think Western have just brought a little bit more creativity, flexibility, adaptability to the scene, which has kind of set them off their pace with some unusual comps and possibly some unusual lurks as well. And they have to now adapt to this quickly. That's what they have to do. They have to take these next couple of rounds and they've got to go into this next round to try and pick up the right people and find those ultimates to help them out.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to be able to do here. A bit of a slower push here. They're going to look at this B site. It looks like B site's going to be theirs for the taking. They're just going to fly in. I love this from Western, but Akron seems like they're ready for it. Swig gets the double kill onto Doggo and Arab, but Vorkis finds 1 more, Reginator finds 1 more, and it's a 4v1 as Top Stacks did find a pick, but it's up to Chop Chin. Western stacking round didn't go too well for them as Akron. They're ready around this corner, does find 1, but the return is there. A big round from Akron when they really needed to win 1.
Indeed, trying to close it out on the aggressive end from Western, you know, that was something that Akron planned for. They know that they love to play up aggressive. Arab loves to get in there and got into that B site so quickly, but was denied by just stellar aim and defense out from Swig. And then we saw Vorses, Reginator get a little bit in there as well, and then Chopchin in the unlikely scenario where he was in a 1v4, just couldn't close it out. They had their number, they had their game, and we are just one round away from closing out this first half and sending it to a switch.
Yeah, last round of the half. Buy everything you can afford. Ultimates, you want to use these often here. And I mean, he just jumps in there fully blind. The shots here from Akron, though, are insane. 4 quick ones, and the Raze ultimate's going to come out. I think spots out top stacks here. And yeah, that's going to do it. A flawless defense round for Akron is after the timeout. They quickly bounce back and take a 7-5 lead, now going on the attack.
Top Stack's too familiar with the sound and the face of that Raze ultimate. Has found that 3 times to the body to be taken out in this half of the game. And now, switching over to this second half, it's going to be very interesting because we talked about the main difference between these two teams being the Fade and being the Breach. I personally think on the attacking side, Breach can be so much more active, especially with that Rolling Thunder, Fault Line, and some other utility as well that he has to play with. The flashes can definitely enable the rest of his team here, whereas when you have a Fade, they have to play a little bit more of a defensive position. Trying to spot out some people off of the bat, definitely still useful in its case, but overall, in my personal opinion, I think Bugs has the advantage here on that Breach.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one, White. And on this map, Breach just covers so much area that all of his abilities are just very, very strong. As Akron playing a slow attacking round here, didn't have too much pace on this one. They're gonna look to maybe walk in to see. Ooh, that could have been a pick there for Pivers, but instead, Reginator on the Raze is gonna find the opening shots there, and now looks like Akron can go wherever they want. They'll have the numbers. You can see a couple members up mid there. I don't know if a mid is the best idea around the one, but it looks like I think C is going to be the desired bomb site here. And they're going to have big, big numbers here if they go right now. 4-on-1. Akron should be able to get in and look to get the plant down.
Definitely, and something that I'm loving to see so far on the side of Western's defense is even though they got that first pick out to Pivers, they didn't pivot. They didn't move fast enough. They kind of stayed in their set places where they didn't want to overcommit to anywhere, but now it looks like they're going to have to because Bugs is there to drop the spike down. Flash out, Doggo tries to find someone, but Doggo finds a bullet to the head from Reginator. Up on the top, trying to find another, finds 2, finds 3! 4 to go, does he find the ace? 1 more to close it out, and Poke Champ is going to find top stacks now in the 8v5 scenario. Only 5 more rounds away from closing this out. I think Western definitely got to pull off the timeout here because they just seem off in these last 2 games, and Reginator has seen on his game.
Yeah, we thought the ace was going to come through there. Poke Champ, though, steals that one away. Akron, yeah, I mean, they are rolling right now. They win the pistol again, and they're going to look to win the second one. Last time, Western did force up, and they were able to win. This time, they're going to choose to save. Wyatt, what do you think of that idea?
It's definitely going to be a beautiful play for Swig.
Ooh.
Never mind,
Pivers.
he is out of the game by Pivers.
Oh my god.
And we're just going to see bodies dropped all over the side of A. It's left to Doggo and River Pivers to try and find the last 2 remaining attackers.
Standing.
Looks like PogChamp finds Pivers, and now it's all up to Doggo. Might be hunted down soon by Vorses, who has that outlaw in hand. And definitely going into this, they had the advantage. And
Boom,
Doggo
there it is.
just going to get quick scope there out from Vorses, keeping the angle beautifully to give them their 9th round. And you know what? It was a great read out from the side of Akron. They bought the outlaw knowing that they would go for a save. They wouldn't have as best of shields to combat anything that they could bring in the side of artillery.
Yeah.
So pulling that outlaw out is a great way to take some easy bodies out in the initial starting of the round when they don't have a lot of shields to work with.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Western's kind of must-win round. If they don't win this one, I mean, this map is going to be very close to being over. So Western, let's see what you have when it matters most on your bye. Akron looking for the bonus here. Some shots going to come out here. PuckChamp looking to find the opening pick, but he has no idea this raise is close. He's swinging like he knows he's there, but a nice shot there from Arav. And a nice advantage. Gonna go over to Western to start off this round as they look to pick up their 6th.
PokeChamp suspected it, but he could not get through it. And now Rob's taking the first. Looking to execute
kill.
out to this B side, but Dragonator is going to take one onto Pivers. Now, choosing where they want to go. They have options. They could route back to C. They could take B. They could take A. B does definitely not look like their best opportunity here, but Reginator is there to change that. He takes down Chop's chin. The IGL is out now, and it's all up to Topstacks, Doggo, and Arav to close this out.
A is wide open. Like nobody from Western on this A side. I think Akron, they should go to this A side, but they don't know that it's wide open. And they're going to go into B, which is a little bit more contested here by Western. As now there's the Raze ultimate. Is going to be able to find a lot of space here, but doesn't find any kills with it still. Walking up, and is going to get shot in the back. Turns around, but hits the wall there. And there's going to be a kill. Makes it a 3-on-3 still. Post plant is strong here. And a nice kill, though, from Topstacks. Makes it a 3v2, but swings. Gets a 1. Arav finds the trade. It's only the Breach left alive. He has the flashes. He has the nades. But 1v2 with only a Sheriff. It's going to be nearly impossible. You have to think the blind hits, gets the headshot. Does he know this Omen sticking? Gets half. The shots come through from Bugs onto Doggo and Zips. That looks like the dagger. Going to take a 10-5 lead and an incredible 1-on-2 clutch.
Bugs, being the pest that he is, slips right into Western and is now taking their 10th round. Like you said it, Theo, definitely a dagger has been thrusted right into the hearts of Western because it looked like they almost had that round under wraps. But now, as I said a little bit earlier, they're coming out with a timeout, have to talk to each other, they have to get the IGL in there and actually figure out what the next plan is for this team, because we saw them a little staggered in the start. They didn't have a clear plan as to where they were going to go, and now they found a little bit of ground rooting, but they've been denied after that 4-win streak and haven't found anything yet in this second half.
Yeah, Western need something bad. They're on a save round here, like they could force. That's probably what they're taking the time out about. They're like, all right, guys, we're down 10-5. We can't really afford to give over any more rounds. Like, what do you think? Should they force up some maybe weaker weapons here to try and catch Akron off guard? It worked before.
I think they should possibly force up with the weaker weapons, because what they want to do is they want to definitely buy something out here. Looks like Peppers is going to be getting one good gun to help them out there, but this team wants to save up for the future round. They don't want to try to force anything for this round because they don't have the best economy to play with, so if they're saving now, they can be much more prepared for the future to take the next couple of rounds off of Akron.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you on that one. That's exactly what they decided to go for. Instead of the latter, they went for some saves.
There.
And let's see how Akron decided to pull off this attack. C-site pretty opened up there. I mean, only one member in the vicinity to defend here. And seems like Akron might have a read on that. They quickly all move over to this A side. They hear the shots from Topstacks, which means there's probably not too many people here from Western. It's going to be an easy take for Akron, and a 5v5 post plant with this economy. You definitely have to think Akron have a big advantage in this round.
Expected nonetheless, Western are definitely more grouped up because they do not have the right weapons to deal with Akron right now. But trying to get onto this site now to defuse this spike. Just spraying and praying as much as they can. Pivers is going to find 2 with a great pick, but finding 3, looking for the remaining 2. The last 2 reside on the other side of this smoke. Pivers and Forces are ready for it. The spike is ticking down, so they have to make a move now if they want to. PokeChamp finds the 4th.
To your left, to your left.
Right denied by Pivers.
Yeah, that's the second time we've nearly seen an ace here wide coming out from Akron, but we are just not able to see any aces today. as Akron go up 11-5 now. PokeChamp put the team on his back in that round. Beautiful flicks onto the head, found 4, and then just didn't know where the last one was. But now Akron feels like this is their match point. Western, they're on a bye round. If they lose this one, their economy is a bit in the dust. So this is going to do or die here for Western. If they can't close this one out, win this round, I think Akron, they're going to be comfortably closing this one out.
They definitely have a lot more guns to play with on the defensive end, but what I am seeing out from Akron right now, and looking right now at Arav, looks like he's pushed up heavy with Doggo right now, trying to find a couple, pops the ult, trying to find someone, doesn't find anybody, and is going to get dropped by Reginator. And now Akron actually going to be denied that ultimate out from PokeChamp. Pivers yet again, now going to find his own ult. Bugs is going to drop Chopchin, chopped right out of this game. And now it looks like it's even out for both teams, but Akron are moving swiftly to take this A site.
Pivers, though, has that ultimate and is in the beautiful position here. I don't know if they have any idea that there could be someone there, but here is a Reginator, finds one. Pivers does find one in return, but now they know that Pivers is in this corner. That Ray's ultimate isn't the best. Doesn't really force him out of his position, but a nice flank here coming out, and it's going to be Western able to take the 2v2 and make it 11-6.
You know, so far, the saving grace out from Western has been their solo picks. I was about to talk about PokeChamp with that Vise ultimate, being able to create a similar situation to last round where they can just shut down their primary fire weapons and get onto the site easily. But then you know what? Pivers just comes out and says, you don't get to use that ultimate. You're out of the game now, and now it has set them up to possibly win the next few because they have the guns, they have the utility, and they definitely have the ultimates in this. I think we could see another combo out from Pivers and Chopchin here. Well, it didn't work last time. Maybe it can work now.
Yeah, for the side of Western, definitely Pivers, their standout player so far, top fragging you saw there, and doing everything for the team as now. It's going to be Akron on another bye round. They're pretty wealthy individuals as of late. And there's going to be rushing onto this A site. Only one defender here. It is a top stacks, and they spot him out. As now we should see Akron probably push through, but they're being a bit too hesitant, I feel like, and it's going to give Western plenty of time to rotate over.
Indeed, that's what we're seeing right now. Pivers the first there with Chopchin to follow. Finds Swig, tries to find another.
Almost does.
Taken out a little bit. Bugs definitely damaged. Almost lost his life there, but still has the Rolling Thunder to play with. Reginator aggressing up now. Looks like Chopchin is going to throw down that eye. Tries to find someone, but immediately denied out by Reginator. Looks like the spike is moving towards B, where the rest of Windsor is ready. And Top Stacks takes down Reginator on his potential flank opportunity.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they might try plant here on this B site. The Omen is in deep, and PokeChamp trying to get this plant down. They're not going to get it down. Look at it. Look at the positioning from Western. They're all playing in spawn, making sure they do not die under any circumstances. The plant, they're going to give it for free. Is it going to be a pick on this A side from Bugs? Yes, it will be. Makes it a 4-on-3. Fade ultimate comes out. PokeChamp is in a lot of trouble here. Look at this flank throw. Forks has had the whole world in his hands and it fell apart. Oh my goodness. Might have saved the game there for Western. Now 4v2. You'd have to think they're going to be able to break through here. Yes, they can. 11-7 now as Western has some life in them.
It was such a perfect opportunity. They were caught out by the Vise ultimate and they were rotating back. Vorses had the Infinity Stones in the palm of his hand and he fumbled.
We've seen it a couple times now, these flanks. You get the huge flank, you're there and just nobody dies. Why?
It's just the luck of the draw. Seems like Lotus is just the map, not for flanks currently. We could see some more out in this, but you know what? It's not looking good still for the side of Western. They won the last 2 rounds, which is definitely great on their side. We see a little bit of a tech pause as well, possibly some more audio issues like we had before. But, right, Akron still have a lot to play with here. Looks like another tech pause for Western, just for clarification, but this will give them a little bit of time, especially Akron, a little bit of time to get a little bit of a plan after this.
Yeah.
Take the last 2 rounds under their belt and figure out how they can play off of this, because so far I've seen Western, they played very aggressive, and it's mostly been a lot of clutch moments that have been allowing them to take these rounds off of Akron.
Yeah, honestly, this is a pretty competitive game, to say the least. Back and forth. Even when Western look down and out, they pull out the big round wins, and it's a pretty close game. I mean, if Western can win this next round, it's going to be a save for Akron. Then they win that one, it's 11-9. Now it's a, win 1 round here, 1 round there, and it's a tie game. So a very, very close first game of the tournament for us here. Luckily, we're able to catch it. And, I mean, Western, they're definitely impressed me a decent amount here, going up against such a strong team in Akron and really putting up a really good fight so far. I think for their first LAN game ever, they'll be pretty happy with this result, no matter the outcome in the end here, I think.
Indeed, and the Pokemon cards are out yet again. Those fire energies ready to boost the rest of the team up and get them fired up in this game. The tech pause looks to be down. We look to be all set to hopefully get into our next game. And looking on the board right now, I think the game changer out from Akron has to be Bugs. He's played very well in some clutch moments, and he has that Rolling Thunder ultimate to play with. An absolute monumental ultimate that can help them in this, especially when supported with the possible Teho ult out from Swig.
And look at the buys. They have Stingers, they have a Judge. They're rushing this B site, they're getting this plant down, and they're doing a bit of praying. They're hoping that Western just walk around these corners and don't check them. And Akron, they're going to have this site complete for free. Just get the plant down and honestly play these close corners with these good weapons they have for close corners. I mean, the fact that Akron even got to this position without any contest, they're very happy with this outcome so far.
Indeed, now they can post up perfectly to play the defense. Looks like PokeChamp is going to be spotted out. The nade now as well looks to find one. He does and gets out of it beautifully. Now Swig is shut out. He's going to get taken out by Doggo as well. But PokeChamp is there to answer back yet again. Doggo takes another onto his list. Is all
bullets
left to PokeChamp. He's got 6 bullets to play with. Top stacks going for the defuse. Possibly try to find someone. Finds one.
Oh, that
2
was
bullets
close.
left. He has to reload. But he's going to find the defuse. Great way from Top Stacks to close it out and finding that last kill. Now definitely ramping up for the side of Western.
Yeah, PokeChamp was so close to landing that flick on the diffuser. Obviously, he cannot see through that smoke. Look how close that was. Oh, if he hit that shot, that would have been a beautiful, beautiful clutch. But instead, it's a round to Western. It's going to be a bye here for Akron. And they have ultimates online. I mean, you definitely expect them to really throw down the gauntlet here and try and put yourself on match point. But Western, if they win out this one, I mean, we might be seeing an overtime Wyatt.
Could quite possibly see that. And you know what? Western, they're playing aggressive. 3 pushed up. Hard A. Going to try to get in the back line. And now Pivers also has got an operator hand. Might try to find someone
timing.
here. Bugs tries to find someone but gets caught down. Trying to get the utility out. But gets taken out by Arav. Nades are traded. Fire shots are fired. Arav finds one onto Reginator. And now Western have the advantage. Look.
They're doing it. They're doing it. 5-on-3 now for Western on the defense. I mean, you have to think Akron should be able to run away with this one, but they aren't able to. And let's see, do they decide to use some ultimates here, Akron, to try and really win this round, or are they just going to give it a good shot? Swig does find one through the smoke here, forces Pivers with the op to back up, and all of a sudden now Akron in a decent position, but there's Pivers with a big shot onto PokeChamp, makes it a 4-on-2 here for the side of Western, but they do lose one. 3v2 now as they look to push through.
Swig looking to make it all happen, has found 2 so far. Can he find any more? Arav spotted him out. Gonna get a little bit of a flash there out from the jump. Arav finds 1, Arav finds 2!
4K.
And everybody is down now. The 4K to Arav. Western are ramping up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a save round here for Akron. this next round, they can't really afford anything, and definitely a bit of panic now sitting in for Akron. They were probably going into this one thinking, all right, we'll take down Western, no problem. There is now a big problem. It's 11-9, and Western have really turned things up to another level here, winning a lot of defensive rounds in a row. Probably favored to win this next one, but you can see Akron, they're going to force up some Vandals here, so they desperately need to see one go their way.
Indeed, and I think the force buys are definitely going to work with what they have. They have basically all of their ultimates online, so they have a lot to play with here. Rushing it down on the C site, Arav and Doggo are here in a cross section area, trying to find someone. Both fire out, trying to find someone. Finds two, and Doggo is there to clean it up.
Western, oh my goodness, Akron gonna be going down again. What a play here from Western University. That raise, I knew she was gonna get something, but a double kill with that ultimate was so massive. Here we'll see a replay of it, a third person replay of it, as you see the raise from this side of Western getting a couple, and then Doggo getting two as well. Just perfect play there. Now 10-11. I think Akron can't really afford a full buy, so Western, they're doing everything they can to bring this round back, as we see some Vandals with light shields on the display here from Akron as they're getting desperate against this Western side.
They did it once, they're going to do it again. They're going for this C site. Stop. Paxax is there. Want to try to get knocked out.
Big
yes,
kill.
he is found out by the nade. And now Vorsis is able to go for this plant. The guided salvos as well out now. Trying to find a couple more. Reginator finds Doggo. Three more remain, but Arav finds two.
Wait a second.
And lights it up. Equal now 3-3 for both sides. The rest of Akron is going to sit off here as PokeChamp is taking the entire arsenal out from Western.
Yeah, now Western can't really push through, but they have their members. They're just playing the post plant perfectly, using all their utility, using all their ultimates. It's going to be a miracle needed here. Coming out from Western, one does a drop, but Chopchin finds one. The shots come through. Shot from Pivers makes it a 2v1. The ultimate from the breach finds one pick, and the spike won't be deep. Uses bugs, finds the 1v2 clutch. A lot of ultimates invested from Akron, but a much needed round win to put themselves on match point.
Now the climb starts for Akron. They have just one more round to close this out, and Western have been trying their hardest. We saw stellar plays on back-to-back rounds for Rob, taking out multiple people at a time with the ultimate, and then with the gun to close it, to clutch it up. But then we see here, Akron had just had to invest everything they could to close it out, because this game has gone the distance, and now they are but a single round away from closing out their first best of one, and Pivers does not like that.
Yeah, Pivers gets the initial kill. We're going to see Akron walking up into B. This is a big one-on-one here, and Reginator going to be able to pick that one up. The huge flank coming around A. Do they hear that one out? The Omen on the spawn, gonna walk through, picks up one. Arav did pick one up in response. The Omen ultimate onto this A side. Fade is gonna be there to contest, but are the Zips players gonna be here in time? Reginator does go down, but still gonna get shot from the side. Is a chop chin. The plant gonna go down. Plenty of time here. Nobody around from Western. It's a 40 seconds to response. It's gonna be a 1-on-2 for Pivers to save this series for Western.
He has the Vandal, and he has his ultimate as well, but there are two players that stand in his way in Akron. Looks like the guided salvo is going to be the first to come out as Vorsis looks to just jump peek right now. The area has been spotted. They know where Pivers is. Coming out now, trying to take one from Vorsis. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to find him as he gets out of there, but he'll know where he is.
Oh, what a shot!
But the IGL for Akron closes it out, and they take their first game in this round robin.
But what a game it was. What a map. Western really putting on a show there towards the end, especially stringing together a lot of rounds. And, you know, if Akron didn't invest all those ultimates that one round and drop that one, that would have been a completely different game. But Akron they have the experience. They know how to close games out, and when it mattered most, they showed out. And 13-10, a very good first map of the tournament for both teams, I would say.
Definitely a lot closer of a game than we expected
Yeah.
here on the desk.
Yeah.
Could have just been out from Akron thinking, you know what? They don't have as much LAN experience than us. We've got a great IGL. We've got star players. We've got Swig on our team. We're going to be able to close this out easy peasy, taking it a little easier on them in the first couple rounds, which might have opened up the opportunities for Western to capitalize on it. But out from both sides, definitely, as Chop Chin had mentioned to me before, Arav was a star player out from Western who tried to climb it back for them, but was not enough, didn't shine bright enough to counteract what Akron were bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a much-deserved victory for Akron, but there's going to be a lot more tournament left to play for the side of Western. I think it's a great start to their day, even though they did lose. They lost against a ranked opponent as not being ranked at all, so that's pretty impressive for Western. I think their vibes should be pretty high up there after that first map.
Indeed, and we're going to see a replay now of the entire game. Some clutch moments, some great highlights out from everybody, and like just talking about it, Akron had such great moments where their team synergy was working beautifully, and then they had moments like those where Top Stacks was just met with nade after nade after ult after ult, and then we had players like Reginator who were able to light it up. Star players out from everyone, definitely some close ace opportunities here and there, but I think the one thing that we have to identify is that the lurks need to improve. Like, we had great clutch moments out from everybody, but it just seemed like 1 out of the 4 opportunities, and lurk finally came in benefit for a team. And the moment it happened, Forces got out of there as soon as he could, because he got 1 pick and he was happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, lurks, they've been good, but like getting the kills hasn't been that good. As we saw people behind the entire teams over and over. This was a huge play by the Rays of Western Arab, getting that double, and Doggo also getting the double. Just big plays all the way around here for both sides, and yeah, just a great start to our day. Wide. If all of our games are like this today, I mean, today's gonna be an awesome day of VALORANT.
It is going to be an awesome day, a long day indefinitely, but you know what, we are here for it, we enjoy it, and that is what SGS is all about. Some great matches, some great talent here out from the entirety of North America, and definitely some star players that we're going to be highlighting. Arav has to be one of them for me, but you know what, if I have to pick one that goes to the side of Akron, it has to be Swig. Swig played great so much around that entire round, but definitely out kills wise, it looks like Reginator and Forces were up there. Swig was a little bit lower, but you know what? Kills aren't everything in this game.
Yeah, you can see the top frags of Western actually out-fragging the top frags of Akron, but just yeah, good map. You can see the people that are supposed to be getting kills are getting their kills. The more utility-based agents, not as highly participating in those kills, getting more assists. That's kind of just how they play. But what a good match for us to start the day off with. 13-10, about as close as you can really get here, Wyatt. I hope we get to see more close matches like this, as I think both these teams could make a nice run in this tournament today.
Yep, and you know, it's not over for Western yet. We're going to see them up in the next game, actually, on stream. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, I hear my good friend Patrick is down in the pit right now and has got an interview all set for you lovely chaps at home.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm joined here by Reginator, the duelist for Akron. And I got to say, man, you know what? You guys were absolutely cooking to start off. You know, Western were sort of starting to bring it back a little more. We saw scenarios where you guys had to really just hold back on save rounds, and sometimes that would just mean their economy was better leading into it. What are those discussions from your team? You know a team's kind of climbing back into things. What are you guys doing to keep a level head?
Yeah, so we're kind of all just trying to stay confident while we are losing rounds, and we're just trying to put a way to close the game out. So when it was like 11-7, we ended up using 3 or 4 ults one round to make it match point, which kind of just gave us like the extra round we needed, and then we were able to close it out. But yeah, I don't know. We just try to stay calm when we're losing rounds, and I don't know. Henry's a great IGL, and he keeps everyone positive. So shout out to him.
I was going to say, you know what, with Vorses on the Omen, I mean, his lurks were insane, but also just the ability to call out the smokes and everything like that. You guys looked so clean on the attacking side of Lotus, which, to be fair, that's kind of how it should be going, but seeing Western climb back on defense, definitely got to tip your cap to them. I got to say, man, you had a crazy pop-off round with the Classic there. You got a 4K as well. You got your E stolen from you, but it's all good. At the end of the day, I got to ask you as well, right? The team energy, the team vibes early on, they got to be pretty high, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're all here for fun. You know, we all just try to have a good time playing with each other. And, yeah, I mean, we're here to win, so hopefully we do that.
Well, you know what? There's not really a better way to start off your day than just a map 1 win immediately, right? I just want to get your prediction. You know, we have some heavy hitters in your groups, namely Northwood. You know you got to go up against them later. What are your expectations for how you're going to finish groups out? You going to go undefeated?
Yeah, I think we're going to go undefeated. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love the confidence. And one last thing. I got to ask. Who has the Pokemon cards on the table with you guys? Who is that?
So that's PokeChamp, but me and him both play Pokemon. I've probably played for about 8 years, traveled all over the world for it, so we both really enjoy that. So this is kind of our second game.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? That's amazing. Thank you, Reginators, so much. You played so well, and so did all of Akron. You guys all did your roles phenomenally. We will be back after a short break, though, as Round Robin Round 2 kicks off soon.